Hey everyone, this is Jon McNaughton. Welcome to my studio. And it's just really cool that you can be with me tonight. I'm going to talk about some of my NFTs, the McNifties that have come out that some of you have purchased, and you want to know a little bit more about them, what's happening, what that's all about. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to have fun. Before I go any further, if you haven't been to my YouTube channel before, make sure you subscribe. Helps us out a lot, and you can get new information when new videos come out. And without any further ado, let's go to the first McNifty. We put that up there. Okay. So I can't see the number and the name of the person below there. Okay, this is number 1462, Esoteric Vendetta. So this was purchased probably a few days ago. I think I'm not sure what number we're at right now, but let me kind of walk you through some of the details about these NFTs and some of the stories behind them, so you understand a little more clearly what's going on. So here we have Trump in the fighting pose, and his hair is going everywhere. He is in the storm that's continually raging around him. He actually has a trait on him that not all of the NFTs have, and probably a lot of you weren't aware of this. But if you look closely, he has a flag pin, and not all of them have the flag pin on it, believe it or not. But going to the background, this one is a special NFT because this is the very first political painting that I ever did back in 2009 called One Nation Under God. And I actually have it, the original, on the wall right here, because he turned my, I can turn it here. Maybe you can see. This is in my studio. You can see a little bit of it right there. That's the original. Thing is huge. It's probably to this day one of my most controversial paintings, with to the left, and one of the most special ones. And that is what's in this painting. And you have a symbolic Christ where holding up the Constitution, which it's my personal belief that the Constitution is divinely inspired. Doesn't mean that Jesus wrote the Constitution. You know, this painting just drives the left crazy. But there's a lot of symbols in this picture. It would take me an hour to go through it. I'll mention just a couple. He's got like a tree of life symbol on his chest, which is a symbol that represents it's kind of the Judeo-Christian belief in eternal life. And then he's wearing a glorified, kind of an exalted clothing, something I've never seen before, but I wanted it to be special. And the painting really, what the idea of this picture is that the country is very divided. And if you look at the painting, you can't see it in the NFT, but you've got the people that are confused on one side and the people that support the Constitution on the other. And behind Christ are all the different patriots of the past, and they're speaking to us from the dust. So you see dust coming up, and the painting is just really amazing. I love it. It's a favorite of mine. Let's go to the next slide. The picture we have. We'll scroll through these. Here you can see a close-up of the painting. There's actually Hebrew writing on the sash, the blood red sash that Jesus is wearing, and it says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." So I try to put a lot of things in my painting that are personal to me, that are special. And this nation will be blessed as long as it is a nation whose God is the Lord. That's my personal belief. Go to the next one. Thanks, Seth. Yeah, there's the full painting. It's an interesting picture. It's got a lot of the people I used as models, some of the historical figures. Wish I had the time to go through this and tell you everything about it. But we do have some videos on the website, this YouTube channel that does that. So that's a great NFT you got there. It's special. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So here we got Trump wearing the bomber jacket, and he's got the thumbs up, Make America Great Again hat. He's holding the Bitcoin. And right now, Trump's not a huge cryptocurrency fan. Hopefully, he changes his mind on that. But I thought it would be fun to have him holding crypto coin in some of these. And of course, we have our favorite ghost in the background. That's Joe Biden. You know, he always has that look like he's not sure where he is. That's one of the traits that adds some value to this, I believe. The painting in the background. Oh, by the way, this is number, let's see, let's remove the banner for a second. Number 1642 Crypto ENT. Now, I saw that Crypto ENT has got a whole bunch of these. And I tried to pick one NFT from each person to kind of make it fair, but some of you have got some really good NFTs, some McNifties, some really rare ones. And I picked this one out because I liked it. It was kind of a different. I mean, I like them all, but this one was different. The way it's positioned in front of the Magnificent Seven painting. And so that's the background on here, Magnificent Seven. Now, this is a painting idea that I came up with. Let's see, that was probably November of this last year. And right in the middle, you can't see it because Trump's hiding himself. Trump himself is actually holding an AR-15. He's like the center of the Magnificent Seven. And all these presidents, I picked some of my favorites, and I put them in tactical gear with AR-15s, M16s, those kind of things. Trump standing on a serpent. Can't see that here. But the picture really, I mean, these are some of the presidents I like because they stood up to the establishment. That's what I liked about them. And they're not all Republicans. But very cool picture. And I think the bomber jacket just makes it. People really like the bomber jacket NFTs. That's a real popular one. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. And we'll, Seth, my producer, the little blue dot there, he's going to pop those up and I'll try to answer questions along the way here too. Okay. All right. Go to the next one here. Oh, there's a picture of the full painting. You can see Trump. Can we zoom in a little bit on Trump there? Is that possible? Okay. Yeah. So he's got that look. I love it. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is kind of fun. You know, it's kind of when you have to sit here and listen to me, it's like going through photo albums of my kids. You know, I'm like, oh, I love this one. I mean, you love everything. So I got to be cool about it. Okay. Oh, another bomber jacket. This is number 535. Tool Boy owns this one. And in this picture, Trump is holding the Ethereum coin, which is what we use to mint these NFTs. And let's see, he's got the Let's Go Brandon hat instead of the Make America Great Again hat, which is kind of the slogan that I think we're going to be hearing a lot over the next couple of years. And of course, there's Biden poking his Sleepy Joe head in the background. That's one of the traits. The painting in the background of this one is from my work called Separation of Church and State. And you can see at the top, this is in the congressional chamber where he does his State of the Union. But the original painting is pretty unique. Let's go to the next slide and I'll show you the original. Okay, so if you look at it here, instead of President Trump giving the State of the Union, it's as if Jesus Christ actually was up there and was trying to speak to Congress. And notice what they're doing to him. They're sending him out on a rail. There's a rip right down the center of the flag. It's kind of symbolic of what's happened with the removal of Judeo-Christian values from the country by those who lead us, which really upsets me, and it upsets a lot of conservatives. And it's so ironic that it says right there above the flag, "In God we trust." I mean, how blasphemous is that in light of what's going on in our country? Yeah, so yeah, that brings a lot of meaning to me, and hopefully for those of you that have that NFT, you can be reminded of what it means. Okay, I knew this one would make it in. Cool. All right, let's go to the next one here. No questions yet, so I'm just going to keep going on and talking about these. All right, this one is number 1516 from Junior Nightingale. That's a cool name. All right, this is one of the McNifties where Trump's got that windy hair. And some people are like, why would you show him like that? It's embarrassing. But for me, it represents that he's surviving the storm that is raging around him. So it's a symbol of strength in my mind. A lot of my paintings have this kind of outrageous, why would you paint Trump in that situation, or this would never happen. Why would you paint Trump, trying to run down the football field? He would never do that. But I think that it's a really cool metaphor for what he's doing in Washington, D.C., or what he has done and what he will do. So I have fun with it. Here he's got the flag pin again. Okay. He's holding the black snake. What does that represent? The black snake, well, anytime you see a serpent in my paintings, it represents fighting against the enemy. And I've got 3 different snake traits in the NFTs. So there's 3 different types of snakes that you'll see, different serpents. There's like a yellow one, this black one, and I think there's a brown one. Have a question, post it, and John might answer it live. Okay. Thanks, Seth. Also, Trump is holding the flag. The original template that we built the McNifty Trump on was the painting "Respect the Flag," and it was the one where Trump here is holding the American flag, and he was wiping the mud off it with a small rag as he stands in the stadium, like of an NFL football game. And that's what really inspired the beginning of all of this, was the "Respect the Flag" painting, which was extremely popular. It sold out immediately, and the fact that Trump stood up to the NFL, in for the American flag and all that it represents, that meant a lot to a lot of Trump supporters and people that really support what the flag stands for. And it's just really, it really hurts my heart when I see that happening. So there's a lot in this painting. This NFT is going to be worth a lot, just simply because it's got a lot of traits. It's very rare, and having George Floyd in it adds a lot of meaning to the picture. You've got the guillotine behind him, with, you can see the scissors just coming down. That represents what some of the American elite have done to our country. You see that the blood stains on the blade are shaped like the American flag. You can't see it well because Trump's blocking it, but there's the White House in the background with the fireworks going up. George Floyd, he's got fire behind him. And that, of course, represents what happened after, his death, which, of course, nobody deserves to die like that. But this guy was not a good guy, and he does not deserve the praise that he's received. And the fact that they burnt down cities and just destroyed so much of our country that summer, it's an important part of history. And Trump, again, he's standing in the storm, and he's determined. So that's a great one. Let's go to the next picture. Okay. This one is number, let me see, move that If I can see it, 1397, Tony Zioli. All right, this is a cool one. Again, you've got the bomber jacket. He's holding the Constitution, which is usually the answer to a lot of the problems if we stick to it. But that rooster in the front is very meaningful, and I've done that before in my paintings where I've included a rooster because it has a symbolic meaning to me. The rooster represents that we're in a state of denial and that we need to wake up. You remember in the Bible when Peter denied Christ 3 times, and then when the cock crowed, he knew what he had done. A lot of Americans are in a state of denial, and um, we need to wake up, and that's what that represents. So Trump is standing in front of Obama, who's fiddling while Washington, D.C. is burning. Of course, that's sort of a metaphor for how Nero fiddled while Rome burned. And Trump is just like I'm not going to have any of that. So it's an interesting mix of metaphors, and that's a really cool one. Let's go to the next picture. I think here you'll see the full original painting where you have Obama fiddling while Washington D.C. burns. It's kind of got a kind of a ghostly feeling about it. I really think this should have been his official portrait to hang in the Smithsonian, not the one where he's surrounded by all the flowers. He's sitting in the same pose with the fiddle, with everything burning. That should be in the Smithsonian, not the other one. But it won't happen. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, here's a fun one. Let's see what number that one is. Number 563. What is Yad Negaet? I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, so that's fun. You guys, okay, again, he's holding the Bitcoin in the bomber jacket. I love the bomber jacket. He's got Fauci behind him, poking his little head out, that little worm. And he's got the caution tape in front of him. And what does it say? Fauci lied, people died. Caution, fake news. China flu. Trojan horse. I painted that tape with those particular words on there because I think that it's significant and it's historic, and it says it cuts right to the chase. I liked it when this first started happening in 2020, and Trump was calling it the China flu, and they said, "Well, why do you keep calling it that?" And he said, "Because it's from China." It's nuts. So I love it that he said that. But this is a rarity. This particular one has some extra value because of the combination of Fauci and the tape. We have some like that, and I don't know if they've posted the rarity scores yet, but this will be a rare one simply because of that. In the background, it has my painting Wild Wild West. And if we go to the next slide, you'll see what that is, the full painting. Let's scroll up. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. I actually have the original of this one hanging in my studio too, just right over here. I love it. My studio has kind of a well, not really old west. It's kind of a cabiny feeling, but it's very Americana. I've started collecting old flags and things like that, old American flags. I think it's cool. But anyway, back to this one, Wild Wild West. The idea of this picture was I wanted to put all the greatest American Western icons in one picture coming out of the dust, and you've got certain people that are enemies right next to each other, this would never have happened in normal life. But this represents the history of America, and the spirit of the Old West that I think actually exists in the heart of a lot of conservatives. And some of these people in this picture are not good. Other ones are, but history will decide how that turns out. We are living in the Wild West today. Is how I see it. So you combine that with an NFT, and you got something pretty remarkable, or should I say, a McNifty. Let's
John,
go to
we
the.
do have a question about NFTs, and I think it's important. This
Oh,
person said, "I missed the first part of your live stream. Could you explain NFTs and how to own one of your
okay.
NFTs?"
Yeah, I can answer that. An NFT is technically called a non-fungible token, which the first time I heard that term, it was like, what are you talking about? It's related to the crypto blockchain. And so if you haven't done anything with cryptocurrency, you may not have heard of it before. But basically, what happens is you can purchase a digital asset, something that is a one of a kind that can't be duplicated. In other words, it can't be sold because it's you own it on the blockchain. And these NFTs are interesting because they're unique and they're like none other ones. Meaning that there's thousands of these McNifties, but every one is completely different. And if you own it, it's the closest thing that many people will get to owning one of my originals, simply because I figured the other day, by the time I die, I may only have 175 original paintings because they take a long time. I only do about 5 or 6 a year. But these, I'm able to combine elements and create really special NFTs. Some people compare NFTs uh, to really fancy trading cards. You know how when you were a kid you had trading cards and you would like, oh, this one's worth more and this one's worth less, and that's what happens with these. They increase in value over time. People will trade to get what they want. So if you're a collector of my work, you'll want to probably look into getting one of these NFTs as something that you can pass on to your posterity. These are all historic. They represent the time in which we live. And that's the thing about me as an artist, is I represent those who are conservative that are alive today. I'm the only artist that really paints this way. And so 50 years, 100 years from now, anybody who has these kind of works, they'll be rare. And that's what an NFT is. If you want to get one, all you have to do is go to McNifty.art, McNifty.art, that's the URL. And they have all kinds of ways on there that you can purchase. They have people that will help you. We have what's called the Discord or the Telegram platform. And they have links there that you can go, and it's a chat room basically where there's people there to help you. And we really, I mean, there's a lot of crypto investors that are real savvy in this stuff, but I personally would prefer to see a lot of people that have simply bought my prints in the past that want to get involved and learn this process, because they're the ones that I think deserve the most to get in on this, if you want to. So go take a look, McNifty.art. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. Now, I personally selected these NFTs to talk about because each one was different and had something special that I wanted to mention. This is number 738 from Endgame. That's his name that purchased this one, the proud owner. I love this NFT as a piece of art. I mean, it's awesome. You have Trump holding the American flag and the U.S. Constitution. He's wearing his "Make America Great Again" hat. Behind him is the background from my painting, Angel of Liberty. You notice the Capitol burning in the background. Okay, this is kind of an apocalyptic painting. Let's go to the next slide and you can see the full painting. Okay, this was a large painting I did based on a vision of George Washington that was passed down. They nobody knows for sure if the vision happened or didn't happen. I think it very likely did. It's worth reading. You can go to my website at jonmcnaughton.com. It actually has the full text of the vision as it was recorded by one of George Washington's. I don't know if it was one of the soldiers or scribes that was with him during the war. But you have the Angel of Liberty. On his head is a crown. It says Union. He's holding the American flag. Let's go to the next slide. And you can see some of the detail. Oh, it's not there. Okay, go back up. I thought I had a picture that showed the detail. There's it gets quite detailed. There's writing on the sword and on his sash, and it's just a really powerful painting. Scroll down a little bit. You can see George Washington over on the right, and the angel that's introducing him to the vision that he saw. And these kind of paintings are just so exciting to bring to life. I love painting American historical heroes, people like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, and Trump's going to be one of those. And I have some liberal friends who I get into conversations with, and they're like, "Oh, Trump, he's terrible." And I'll say, "I'll tell you what," I said, "he is either going to go down in history as our greatest president ever or our worst president. And it will be the historians that make that decision." So that's why conservatives have to stand up and really fight for our country, because history is what happens to history. It can be changed. Let's go to the next one. Okay, another McNifty. What number is this one? 776 from PK. Let's go, Brandon. Trump's got a nice big smile in this one. And it's the witch hunt zone, fake news. He's got the dogs. This one is just kind of, for me, this one's just rowdy. It's just rowdy and fun. The dogs, that can represent, well, it did represent some of the crazy Democrat fake news media in the painting. These traits were taken from my painting called Democrats Playing Poker. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but that's where the dogs come from. And there's a big bulldog here and, all these different dogs. That's hilarious, I think. You've got, who here poking his head out, Elon Musk. Old Elon. People say, why did you put Elon Musk in some of these? Well, he's a relevant person in history right now. He's an interesting character. He's always getting involved in the crypto market, and I think he's the wealthiest person in the world right now as far as a business owner. I'm sure there's people more wealthy, but he's in the news a lot, and I just thought that, let's put him in there, make it fun. That adds value to the picture because it's a little more rare. Now, behind him, we have the painting called The Forgotten Man. And I got to talk about that one. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, this painting is probably one of my most well-known works. The Forgotten Man, I did it in about 2011, and I was responding to the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, the way Obama pushed it through without it really, it felt unconstitutional to me the way it was done. And so I decided to do this picture where you have this forgotten man on the bench. He's down and out. He represents every American who just doesn't have the opportunities that others would have. Then you have Obama with kind of that smug look, and other presidents applauding. And then you've got these other presidents. They're all, people would look at this and try to understand what are they saying. And then you've got Madison with his hands down, like, what are you doing? You're stepping on the Constitution. This painting had a resurgence in 2016. Trump made a comment that summer how the forgotten men and women would finally rise up and they would change the trajectory of the country. I sent a text, or an email that is, to Sean Hannity. I told him that I really think Trump's going to win this because of the forgotten men and women of America. And don't forget that painting that I did back in 2011. And I didn't hear from him. And this was just 2 weeks before the election. And the day of the election in 2016, all day long, Hannity was talking about the forgotten men and the forgotten women, that we're going to win this. And nobody saw it coming until the end of the night when Trump won. And he made the speech where he said, because of the forgotten men and women, I'm here today. The next day, Sean Hannity purchased that original. So this picture is special. And we're going to be doing a treasure hunt, is what we call it. It's kind of a special contest to get free airdrop NFTs, free ones, to those who have certain NFTs right now already. So if you have certain NFTs, you qualify to possibly get a free NFT. And the information on that, if you go to McNifty.art and you get on the Discord platform, they'll tell you about those contests. So that's a special one. Let's go to the next. What do we got? Is that it? Is that the last one?
And yeah, that's the last one.
That's the last one. Okay, man.
Yeah, we ended on the forgotten man.
Okay, that's a good one to end on. So hopefully I was able to explain some of these NFTs and give you some ideas of some of the symbolism that's happening in the pictures. And I'll do this again next week, probably on a Thursday evening. We'll let you know. But if you have any questions about your NFTs or about the paintings I'm doing, what we might be doing in the future, let us know in the comments, and we'll try to talk about that. Okay. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Talk to you later.